so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Sharon, the privilege is all mine. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share.
Oh, it's so good to have you here. Have you been enjoying the champagne?
Yes, absolutely. I have, yes. And the company. It's been amazing.
Oh, I've heard you guys having the best conversations.
You know what? The amazing thing about this community is that there are so many individuals who actually really care for one another here. Yeah. And we support each other. And it's just such an amazing environment to be a part of.
Oh, I agree. And I could hear you laughing a lot. It wasn't just support. There was
there was a lot of inappropriateness, let me just say.
You guys were having the best time. It was fantastic.
Having a ball.
Wonderful. So I love that you joining this was a big decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just want to jump to that because I love what you just shared before we started rolling. So please go ahead, take it away.
Oh, Sharon, not only was it a big decision, it was a huge decision.
Yeah. What was your biggest concerns?
Look, the biggest concerns at the time were around the investment.
Yeah. Was it worth it?
Yeah, absolutely. Was it worth it? Was it worth my time? Was it worth my finance?
Was
what was actually going to eventuate as a result of this journey?
Wow.
I had so many conversations with my wife around making this decision.
Yeah.
And I love my wife wholeheartedly, and she had my best interests in mind. And she was just concerned that I was about to invest in something that wasn't going to return the sort of result that I genuinely was hoping for.
Yeah.
And that was a real challenge.
I think it's a reasonable concern.
Yeah, look, I'd say so too. And I would imagine there are a lot of individuals that are in this place who are questioning whether or not the investment is worthwhile.
Yeah.
Because
they don't know.
Yeah.
Because you're not in it yet.
There's so much uncertainty around it.
You don't know what you don't know, and you're not in it yet and not getting the return. So you were concerned about, is the money investment worth it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is the time worth it? Did the money back guarantee do anything for you? So we've got a success guarantee.
You know what? It certainly gave me a level of confidence around the offers. And in fact, it was definitely one of the criteria that helped me make that decision. When I looked at the money back guarantee, I instantly felt as though if you were willing to back yourselves that much, then I was willing to take a risk.
We're the only school with a success guarantee. That's a big deal. So we have to make sure we've got good staff. Was that in your thinking? It's like, wow, they must know what they're doing if they're ready to guarantee my success if I use systems.
Yeah, look, definitely part of that.
Good.
And the other part of it was they must be very good at what they do in order to be able to offer that.
Yeah. Okay. Good. How did you overcome your concerns?
Look, I felt the fear, and I chose to do it anyway.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why?
You know, for the longest...
How did you get to know us?
Yeah. Oh, okay. For the longest period of time, I had been interested in personal development, and I had my foot sort of 1 foot in and 1 foot out in terms of the idea, the prospect, the vision of being a more robust and more fulfilled individual.
Wow, well said.
And
what were you doing?
Look, I was working within the retail industry, managing stores.
Were you?
Yeah. So the last role that I was doing, I was managing a $14 million operation. There was 200 team members on board. And the challenge there was that I had my own values and the business had their values and they weren't aligned. So
that would have caused some angst.
Absolutely. There was angst within me. There was this desire to help, but there was a lack of awareness around how to.
Yeah. And
how to help people transition from where it was that they were finding themselves into a space where they could empower themselves.
Yeah. So you weren't getting the answers where you were?
I wasn't getting the answers where I was.
Got it. So how did you come to know us enough to know you could trust us with your very important time? The money was always going to be guaranteed, but to invest that commitment of time compared to everything else you could be doing, how did we come together?
Well, we came together through a friend of mine, actually.
Did we?
Yeah,
a recommendation?
Yeah, a recommendation.
Who was that?
So Megan Jaworski.
Oh, fantastic.
She was completing the course with TCI at the time, and I happened to see her feed in Facebook.
Yeah.
And she was just absolutely wrapped with the journey that she was experiencing.
Great.
And I had to take into account the fact that somebody who I knew was experiencing life at a level that I could only have at that time dreamt about.
Wow. That would have been a bit of a wake-up call.
Let's be honest, it was so much more than just a wake-up call. It was like reality suddenly stared me in the face. It was a cold, hard look in the mirror.
There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
She's doing it.
She's doing it, I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you do next?
So I made a decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made the decision to
Was
back
it
myself.
scary? Or was it
Bloody
once? It really,
yeah,
even then it was still
absolutely.
scary.
It was still scary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to you overcoming all those fears, those doubts, those concerns, and you still enrolled.
Absolutely.
How did you find, what did you have to tap in within you to do that? Because it would have been, I imagine, easier to go, maybe later, maybe I'll do more research, maybe I need to look at other schools. How come you didn't do that? And you just said, no, I'm going to do this now.
For the longest period of time, once again, Sharon, the status quo that I had been maintaining had been absolutely draining.
Yeah. So enough was enough.
Enough was enough. I had come to a point in time where I realised that what it was that I was doing wasn't fulfilling me. It just wasn't. So playing by other people's expectations and rules, if that wasn't the answer, there had to be something else. There had to be something else.
Yeah.
And I was willing to take a chance on TCI and see whether or not that was going to open up the avenues for me.
Good.
And
Good on you.
Yeah, it was the best decision I ever made.
So when did you realise it was the best decision you'd ever made? 'Cause you always didn't realise that when you joined because you were still scared.
Yeah.
When did it kick into, oh yeah, that was a great decision?
So, yeah, look.
Clearly not on day one.
No, not on day one.
Not when you got the beautiful starter kit in the mail. Did that help?
Look, that was amazing. That was
not enough.
definitely
I love
amazing.
it. I love it. Bring it.
It was actually when I came along to Fox Weekend.
The first foundations training.
The very first foundations training, Sharon. Joe was in New York at the time, and you were facilitating that weekend.
Yeah.
And for the very first time in my life, I knew that I was in the presence of somebody who actually stood for something that resonated with my core.
Oh, it's good to hear.
It was amazing.
I didn't know that. Thank you. That's great to hear.
It was transformational.
Yeah.
And I realised at that very same time.
You're an amazing group.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And we've had some really amazing
You guys
successes.
have stuck together over the years. You guys have stuck together. I've loved it.
Yeah. Thank you, Sharon. And so much more than that. Also, more than just sticking together, the ability to actually implement the learnings and do what needs to be done.
So that's when it lit up for you. That's when you knew, okay, I've made a great decision.
Absolutely.
Isn't it interesting? What's that poem, that beautiful poem by Marianne Williamson?
I love
it is
it.
our magnificence that we really feel.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And that is so true.
Yeah.
And it's actually when we give ourselves that permission, like Marianne.
Yeah, that's it. We give our permission to shine.
Yeah. Suddenly we give others permission to shine also.
So what happened next? Had you kicked in yet, or you just realised, that's the decision I need to make?
That's the decision I need to make.
You made it hard for yourself, can I just say?
Yeah, I know. I spent
This is called
months.
The meandering stream version of success.
Totally. I made it so hard on myself because I had so much negative internal representations. I mean, I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, Sharon.
Did you really?
Yeah, I grew up in a dysfunctional family. I was dependent on drugs and alcohol as a teenager, all the way through to my 20s. And then I hid behind significance, and that's how I made my way through climbing the ladder within my role so that I could fill the empty void.
But you never could.
But I never could.
None of those things
None of those things were ever good enough. They never ever could satisfy the emptiness, because the very thing that we're all searching for can't be found on the external.
No.
It only exists within us.
Yeah.
And so the journey itself was a journey of discovery. It was a journey of discovery around the resources that are within us.
The most courageous journey you can take is the journey of self-discovery,
That's
that you're worthy of your love.
Well said, SP.
Well, we do this. This is what we do. So what happened next? When I'm intrigued in your story.
Yeah.
When did you finally engage in you?
I made the decision to leave my old job.
Wow, I remember us having that conversation.
Yeah. And it was like, burn the boats.
Yeah, I remember.
And let's go. And through that process, all of the fears that you could ever
all of them
have to
come
confront, I had to confront.
Fear of not being enough, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of people being right, people. Oh my God,
all of it.
Will I make it? Will I not make it? Everyone else around me is doing really well. What if I'm the exception and I don't? Oh my gosh.
All of those fears.
Because you got rid of the net.
That's it. That's it. I launched myself out, and
You needed to build wings on your way down.
Well,
you jumped, and let's build some wings.
Exactly.
That's huge. What did your wife say in that moment when you resigned, or the night before the resignation? What did your wife say?
I didn't even have that conversation, Sharon. At that
that
point
desperate.
in time,
Got it.
yeah, at that point in time, I wasn't even sure that I was going to do it. And I walked in on a Monday morning, and I made that decision there and then, and I walked out, and that was it. That was it.
You now had to back yourself.
I had to back myself.
All the BS had to drop.
Exactly.
Because it just got real.
Yeah, it did. It got real for myself, and it got real for my family very quickly.
Yeah.
And of course, my wife, being the amazing woman that she is, she said, "Honey, I wish we would have talked about this."
I think that's understating it.
Yeah.
Honey, I wish you'd brought that up a little.
Yeah. All right, so I did understate it. There was a lot of expletives and a lot of emotion. And at the same time, there was a realization that what was done was done.
Yeah. So now what?
Yeah. And so it took me about 6 months to work through my stuff.
Yeah.
To get to the place where I actually was willing to back myself.
Yeah.
Where I was
So you
willing
did
to,
it, you resigned, and then how long after that did it take for your business to kick in? Because I know your business is great now, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Your story, you earned it.
Thank you.
You have learnt to earn. You have every step of the way, and I see your growth, and I just totally admire what you're doing.
Thank you very much, SP.
So how long did it take for you to start experiencing the abundance and the fulfillment you had been searching for?
Yeah, look, it genuinely took me 6 months before I landed my first paying client.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because the clients weren't out there looking to be served.
Yeah.
It was that I was telling myself all sorts of stories. And
another problem.
Oh my goodness.
John!
I know, right? I look at it now and I just go, what was I doing?
Because it looks easier on the other side.
Totally.
Okay.
Because
I think that's important. It's not there's a lack of clients. It's a lack of the resourcefulness that we're not noticing. We're not noticing the resourcefulness within ourselves.
Absolutely. And that's a constant theme throughout the entire story. It's that not only is it prevalent and evident within that situation, but when you look at the decisions that I've made throughout my entire life, they've consistently shown that pattern.
Well done for conquering it.
Yeah, thank you.
So now you have a full client list?
I do.
Which is fantastic.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And you just hit a milestone income-wise. I don't know if you're comfortable saying it or not. I don't mind if you don't, but kudos, you're earning in the top 5% of Australia.
Thank you.
Right now, which is
very much.
Sensational.
Thank you.
Is it around your lifestyle?
It is around my lifestyle. I get to be present to my wife. I get to be present to my daughter.
Wonderful. So that's just ticking the boxes of what you dreamed could be coming true for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about you, which I think is probably what this story was really about? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm so grateful for making that decision. So grateful for connecting in with TCI.
I'm glad you chose us.
So grateful for the mentorship. So grateful for all of the materials and resources that you've made available. So grateful that you made the decision to do the thing that you did.
Yeah, I made the decision, and I'm grateful you're using them.
Yeah.
Because that's fantastic. Good for you. You've earned it. I'm so pleased for you. What would you say to somebody sitting at home right now who perhaps can relate to your story? What would you share to them if they're sitting on the fence thinking, shall I, shan't I? Should I put it off for another year?
No, look, anyone who's sitting on the fence, seriously, there is no decision to be made other than to go for it. This journey that you embark on, that you choose, when you choose to back yourself, this journey not only changes your life, it leaves a legacy. It changes lives beyond those which you currently are aware of. This journey is an amazing journey and totally worthwhile.
I love what you just said. I think that's so true. You know, one of the things I say all the time when I'm working with you guys is we're in preparation right now for the client we haven't met yet.
Absolutely.
Let's keep working on us so we can be ready to serve. And that's when we know we've given meaning to this world. That's the legacy you speak of.
That's the one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
This has been wonderful.
Yeah, I loved
Go back
it.
to champagne.
I will, thank you.
I trust you've been inspired by John's message. I know I am, and I just love supporting him on this journey. And we would love to support you. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and click the button. Find out how you can get involved. And stick around and hear how we can make this a reality for you. And let's do some cool stuff together. And John, I think you'll be on the other side ready to welcome them and say good for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.